Hey guys, Shinylocke here, and I'm actually returning with a second video. I know, please, you don't have to. Anyway, in this video, I'm gonna go over my top 10 anime and manga series, because I just thought that would be a good idea, just so you guys know my tastes and what I like. So, I don't feel like I need to say much more, so let's just jump into it with our number 10 spot. So in general, just numbers like 6 through 10 are gonna be like, not very solid. I feel like they could like change by my mood. So if there's some really good series at the bottom that you like, but they're not at like number 6, don't worry about it. I basically like them all the same. But with that being said, at our number 10 spot, we've got Goodnight Poon Poon by Inyo Asano. This is a very, very well-known series. I feel like everyone has heard of this or read it. Has some very heavy subject matter, but I read it obviously. It was actually a really, really good manga. It didn't like make me sad in the way that like everyone else, like how I expected to be sad by it. I expected to be sad, but I was just like kind of shocked the whole time reading it. But it was a really, really well told, well written series. I want to get more into Inyo Asano's works because it was just really well written. I have Solen in. So I'm gonna read that next of his probably, and just yeah, if you like darker like heavy subject matter like coming of age stories, or like I don't know, I kind of view this as like a case study kind of. It's definitely one you should check out. It's just an amazingly written series, and I don't think there's anything I can say about it that hasn't already been said really. Now, number 9, this is going to be a fairly controversial pick, but I have Future Diary, mainly just because this is just I have a lot of sentimental attachment to this series from when I watched it. I haven't actually read the manga. I want to read it all. That's a problem, given it was published by Tokyo Pop. But yeah, I watched the show. It was a great anime. There are some very questionable parts that I think should not have been put in. Mainly the stuff that happens in the like clairvoyance arc. Not good. Not good. But mainly the main thing for me was just the ending. The ending really hit me in the place that was very sad. So I've always really just held it in a high regard since. And yeah, I want to collect more of the manga. I only have the first 3 volumes. I know most of it's in stock on Right Stuff right now as of recording, so I'm probably gonna get that whenever I can. I know volume 6 is like impossible to find, and I know they never actually translated and released the last 2 volumes, so that's gonna be really sad. I might get like Japanese imports if they aren't too expensive, and I'll figure out from there what I want to do with them. But yeah, this one isn't one I'd really recommend as much as everything else on the list, mainly just because of why I like it. But if you look at the premise and you think you're interested in it, definitely give it a shot. There's stuff to enjoy in here. It's a really fun series. So coming in at number 8, we have Chainsaw Man. I read this like a year ago. I read it all online. I have been collecting the volumes as they come out. I've been caught up since like volume 6, I think, so I've just been getting as they come out like every 2 months. And then finally volume 11 came in, so I'm gonna be planning to reread all of that. And I feel like that'll solidify it in my top 10. I love Tatsuki Fujimoto. I've read a lot of his stuff. I have it up here, but I've read Fire Punch. That's a really good, also really weird series. Hard to recommend. Really good though. It's Fujimoto. If you like Fujimoto, you'll like it. I've also read some of his one-shots like Look Back and Goodbye Eri. They were also very good. I'm definitely going to be picking those up whenever Viz releases them. But just, I cannot wait for the anime for this either. It's gonna come eventually, hopefully. I know there's like a panel on it on like July 4th, so hopefully they give a release date or something. I know also Chainsaw Man Part 2 is coming on July 13th, I think. I might be mixing up the panel and the return though. I cannot wait for that. I cannot wait to read this weekly. I just love the series so much. Denji is such a great protagonist. All the antagonists, Makima's a great antagonist. All the side characters like Aki, Power, and all the like fiends, they're all great. I just love this series so much. It's so creative, and the artwork is just amazing. Like, it's an amazing series. I cannot recommend it enough. Now for the number 7 spot, we've got a series that like really doesn't need an introduction. If you don't know what it is, I don't know how you're into manga, but that is Bleach. I love Bleach. Great series. If you like Battle Shonen and you have not read Bleach, you need to do yourself a favor and read it. I put this off as like meathead shonen, honestly, when I first got into anime and manga, and I had one friend who I met and it's his favorite series of all time, so I trusted him and read it, and I did not regret it. It's such an amazing series. Kubo has some great artwork. It's just well written. It has, as I said, amazing artwork. It has great characters. It's just a really, really fun shonen. It's personally my favorite of the big 3. I do not like Naruto, if I'm being honest, but that's not part of this. But just Bleach is an amazing series. The 1000 Year Blood War anime is coming sometime soon. I cannot wait for that to air. That arc has some amazing fights that I cannot wait to see, and I think it's coming back for another arc, which if it is, I will be happy, because it just released that one shot, and I will be so happy if it actually comes back. And I just love this series so much. There's something I've probably said like 12 times throughout this video already, but it's my top 10, so I'm gonna love all these series. Coming in at number 6, we have Wotakoi, which is my favorite rom-com anime / manga of any rom-com. I don't know if I'd say it's my favorite romance, but the comedy and the romance mix really well in this series. It's about 2 adults, which is very good, and another very good thing about this is they get together in like the first few chapters, so you actually get relationship comedy, which is very nice. It's not something I honestly see a lot in other stuff. I've seen like Love is War, they like just got together in the anime, but this series is so great. It's about like adults in like the workplace, and I think all the humor about like the 9-to-5 jobs is really funny, and it just got some great characters, obviously. They're all likable and you care for their relationships really, and they all have like really like well like developed relationships in history, and it's all just a really well written series by Fujita, and it's over, so there's no more coming. I just got volume 6 and read it and finished it, and I was very upset because I didn't really want it to end, but this is just a great series. If you like rom-coms, definitely read this one. It's my favorite by far. Now the top 5 will be a lot more solidified from their positions. These are mostly all for now. They're mostly, for now you'll see later of what I have to say, but they're mostly all like rock solid in their placements. So yeah, just keep that in mind for these ones. Coming in at number 5, we have Beastars by Paru Itagaki. If you see this series and you dismiss it as like weird furry stuff, I don't blame you, because that used to be me, but please don't do that. You're doing yourself a disservice, because this series is really good. It has like some great, like, the artwork. First of all, I love the artwork. I love Paru's artwork. It's so great. The writing is also incredible. Legoshi is one of like my favorite main characters of all time. He's so good. He's so like, I don't want to say relatable, but he's just such a well-written main character, and he's the main, like, he's like the best part of this manga for me. He's so good. I love his character so much. And then there's also some great side characters like Louis and Haru and the Shishigumi, I think is what they're called. And Gohan, I love him. This series all around is just such a well-rounded series, and I don't want people to put this off as like furry bait, which again I understand because that used to be me, but like just give it a chance. If you don't like it, then that's fine, but don't not like it because of how it looks on the outside, really. Which leads us into our number 4 pick. Now, I'm kind of a fraud, because for number 4 and number 3, I do not have any physical volumes of, so I'm just gonna have to put a picture on the screen right up here or something. But for our number 4, we have another series that looks really weird on the outside, and that's Bunny Girl Senpai. Again, if you put this series off as weird stuff, I don't blame you. For some reason, the marketing team for this show did it a huge disservice and named and marketed it and all this stuff to make it look like it's something it's not really. It's really just like a well-written like romance drama. Not even like romance, really. It's mainly the drama's the main point of it, of this kid in high school. And the main character, Sakuta, is one of my favorite protagonists of all time. You'll see that a lot in these in this top 10, really. He's just such a great character, and all the side characters are really well written, and the show really knows how to make you be sad, really. There are some really sad parts, especially in the last arc and in the movie. Those two kind of tore my heart out a bit, if I'm being honest. But again, don't put this off as weird, like, fetish stuff. That's exactly what I said when my girlfriend said we should watch it together. I was like, that sounds like something weird. And then I watched it, and I loved it, and I've loved it ever since. So, take my word for it, it's really good. Now, our number 3 spot is another one that I don't have any physical volumes for. This one I've been waiting for the box set to come in stock for, because I really like the box set. But that series is going to be Assassination Classroom. I'm sure a lot of you have heard or read this series. It's like an action comedy kind of. And I didn't read the manga. I watched the anime. I plan to reread the manga eventually because I want to see what it's like in manga form. But I watched the anime, and it was just an amazing series. The jokes were funny, like, for the most part, as a comedy should be. The characters were all likable. The thing I really like about it is, out of this huge class of students, all of them got their moments and stuff, and it was really great. And Koro Sensei, obviously one of the best characters. And I plan on making a video on this series and its ending, because the ending is honestly maybe my favorite manga ending of all time, if not one of. I really don't know like how to rank it, really, but the ending was incredible. It was the first anime to make me cry, really. So that's a good achievement. But yeah, give this series a shot. It's just incredible, really. It's if you want a nice lighthearted series to like read and just enjoy, it's such a great show. Now, coming in at number 2, as I said during my manga collection video, is gonna be Attack on Titan by Hajime Isayama. This is not a series, again, with a lot of these. I do like a lot of popular things. This is not a series that really needs introduction. It's been one of the most popular anime, if not the most popular anime, since like 2012, whenever season 1 came out, and it's just an amazing series. I watched it all like a year and a half ago, and then I read the manga, and I just loved it almost the whole way through. I'm not a huge fan of the ending, but in my opinion, it doesn't really lower my view on the rest of the series, just because everything else was so unbelievably good. Return to Shigashina is one of my favorite arcs of all time. It's just such a well-written, high stakes, high action. It's a perfect culmination of the whole series up until that point, and the ending to that arc is just amazing. this series, just if you haven't watched it somehow, give it a shot. It's really good. I plan on rereading it all this summer because I have all the manga and I really want to try to like the ending, honestly. So I want to give it a shot with everything in mind and like just see if I like it anymore and see if my thoughts stay the same really, and if it, I may end up making a video about that. I'm not sure yet. I don't know if a reread would make a very interesting video. Tell me about that in the comments if you guys have any opinions. But yeah, amazing series. I'm sure everybody knows this, but Attack on Titan is great. Now before we get to number 1, I just want to give one honorable mention, which is what I was talking about earlier when I meant they were pretty solid for now. That honorable mention is going to be 20th Century Boys by Naoki Urasawa. This was an incredible manga, definitely top 5 worthy, is definitely going to end up there. The one problem with it is just that I finished it last night, so I want to give it like some time to sit really before I like make a proper judgment on it. I don't feel like that would be good of me to do. So incredible manga. I want to definitely read more of Urasawa's work now because that was incredible. I want to read all of Monster and Pluto. I've just heard great things about his stuff, and 20th Century Boys was great. I definitely want to, I read it all online, but I definitely want to collect it all and like display it because it was such an incredible manga. Now my number 1 spot will come as no surprise to anyone who knows me, but that's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure by Hirohiko Araki. Incredible manga, really. I can't say anything about this that hasn't been said. Everyone knows JoJo's. Everyone loves JoJo's, really. Most people. Some people are weird. But it's just an incredible series. I think the part system, I love the part system. It's like just a great way. It makes everything more digestible and it's really fun, and it lets a bunch of different characters get time to shine. If you want the correct part ranking, it's gonna be part 4 is the best, then part 8, then part 7, then part 5 and 2 are about equal, then part 6, then part 3, then part 1. Part 1's the worst. I think I got them all. I think. Sadly, I'm gonna have to wait 5 million years for JoJolion to ever be released in English so I can collect it. But as soon as that comes, I am gonna snatch those volumes up as soon as they come out. And correct character, Gappy's the best JoJo, Yasuo's the best Jobro and Joho, Koichi's the best character, Kira's the best villain, I like Diego too, he's cool. But yeah, as I was saying before I cut myself off, this series is just incredible. It's well written, the art's incredible, every part, it just gets better with every part really. Araki's just incredible, insanely talented mangaka. The one problem with it is just it's very hard to recommend just because of how long it is. It's a very, very long series, but I feel like the part system makes it a lot more digestible than other long series like One Piece really. Not to say I don't like One Piece, I love One Piece, but JoJo's is just so good. If you somehow, I've said this like 20 times with like every single series in this video, but especially JoJo's, if you somehow have not read it, give it a shot. You will not regret it, probably. No guarantees. I'm not being held liable for that if you're just weird. But incredible series. I can't say that enough, really. But yeah, this series has been my number 1 since I watched it, and it's stayed that spot, and I can only imagine it's gonna stay that spot for the rest of time, honestly. Because that's just the way I am about my favorite series. I don't feel like I see that ever changing. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. Let me know your thoughts on my top 10, about how much you hate it, and definitely make sure to tell me about the series that are better than all the series I mentioned that I should have replied, and I'll tell you, oh yeah, I forgot that, I'm sorry. And let me know if you guys know any series that I might like based off my top 10. I'd like more suggestions. I need an even bigger backlog of manga to get through. I mean that not sarcastically. The first part was being sarcastic, but please do recommend me stuff. I love getting recommended stuff. And make sure to subscribe. Make sure to like the video and all that, all that stuff. Make sure to follow me on Twitter and all that. You know, if you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. It really means a lot to me. I'm glad that I could be entertainment. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one, whenever that is.